You what?
You start 10 o'clock.
I said, let's get serious.
It's 2 minutes before 10.
Never starts till 10, he's German.
At 10 I'm serious. Serious fun, but now it's just...
Oh, it'll be fun.
No, I like hurt. I hurt my day. I hurt myself today. I hurt. 9 inches nails. Even personal Jesus was better from him than from the Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I only don't like him because of the Vienna song. That was them, wasn't it?
Vienna?
Oh, Vienna.
Ultra Fox.
Vienna. That was about.
Ultra Fox. Leonard Cohen?
And it's coming.
No, Ultra Fox was Vienna calling.
No, not Vienna calling, no, Vienna was the bloody song.
What a bloody song.
Oh, I hate
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, that's the whole of Western music summed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, do it again. 1, 2, 3, get fucking.
The bloody jazz musicians, then they made it 5/4.
Yeah.
Take 5.
Try to make sex with jazz.
That's quite complicated.
Cool train.
Yeah, who trained him though? So I want to know.
Bloody miles away.
He made it up. Miles Davis.
It was strange because we made the record, we finished it, and we gave name to the whatever tracks, and then 4 weeks before Miles died, we made one track named Miles Away. It's like Miles Away.
Oh.
And then 4 weeks later he died. Oh no! I was quite shocked.
You killed Miles Davis. Shit.
I should have done it earlier. I was too late.
Oh, Lord, sex.
Some synchronicity is quite immense. No?
Synchronicity, yeah.
Miles away. Good. Now it's time.
10 o'clock.
Have to be finished at 10 p.m. Good. Andres has a lot of questions today. I feel him.
Yeah.
Welcome summer. Huh? Not yet, huh?
Not yet.
The famous not yet. Okay, Kofshaber. Something? Of course you want to make it serious.
I get my money's worth.
Some people say they get paid for it to sit here. Because they're so important.
I guess if there's anything that still kind of really tweaks around a little bit is, I broached the subject the other day, it's around this idea of self being peace and bliss, and manifestation being love and war.
Piss and shit.
Yeah, piss and shit.
So bliss and shit and piss and shit. Sounds good.
Sounds very good.
I mean, that for me, the only place I can come back to is paradox. I just have to sit in that. When I look back, actually, Hitler has certainly been one of the great teachers for me. You know, growing up as a schoolboy, born just after the war, and he was the arch baddie in all my comics. And yet, realizing that he's just another human being with a mom and dad,
Yeah, that starts like...
How can I fit, you know, where can I put him? he's a great card in himself.
Well, it's a comedy character.
Yeah. But he's also the other half of Gandhi. He's
Balancing it.
Yeah,
If a guy like Martin Luther King or Gandhi is walking, there has to be an opposite.
Yeah.
Counterpart.
Yeah.
Otherwise it doesn't function.
So sitting in that kind of thing, then any idea of oneness and as being peace and bliss is a bit kind of...
No, it's part of that counterpart. Separation needs the other side of oneness. Otherwise there would be no separation. They need each other.
Yeah, but why does oneness need to be peace and bliss?
I didn't say that.
No, but most teachers do. You actually did. You said that. You said the peace.
It's a relative...
You gave it a special... You gave it the special peace.
Yeah, it's like the opposite to war means like whatever you say that is peace. What you can, but it's a relative peace which can only be in the opposite to war.
Yes.
So it's more peaceful. Yes, I agree.
So to then take one of those.
If you take one away, the other one is gone too.
Yes. So to call self or whatever you want to call it, or to suggest that it's peace, which is just one of the balancing factors.
No, that peace which is the self has no opposite. It's like the
so
peace...
that's the confusion, because it's the same word as love, as war and peace.
No, I would always said to be what you are in oneness is a piece of cake.
Sorry?
To be what you are, the piece you are, it's a piece of cake in oneness. You can easily be at peace with yourself in oneness. So it's a piece of cake. But to be the peace you are in even the surrounding of war is maybe more whatever.
But surely you have to be, I mean, that statement's nullified by the fact that you have to be at war in oneness as well.
No, you can only experience peace as war and peace, because the nature of war is peace and the nature of peace is peace. There is no difference in nature. But that you can experience peace, you have to experience the opposite too, as the opposite of your idea of peace. Two concepts of peace, two experiences of peace. One experience of peace is war, another experience of peace is peace, like oneness.
Yeah.
So that why is called Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's not like Om Shanti Shanti war. There's Shanti only. There's only self. And self without a second, there is peace. There was and there is, there will be peace. Peace means there is no second, and when there is no second, there is no disturbance possible. That's called peace.
I hear that. My mind says that's a lot of bollocks. I hear it.
But you cannot integrate it.
But I can't.
No, you will never get it.
No.
You can only be it. By being it, no problem. But trying to have it, trying to own it, try to understand it, you make it relative. So at that moment it's already gone. So trying to catch it, it's always catch me if you can. You will never catch it. It can never be owned by anyone. So no one will ever realize that peace one is.
Phew.
That's a But for me that's joy.
Yeah.
The joy that not even yourself can catch yourself. Because there is no second self. But you try.
I've been trying most of this life.
Every seeker tries it.
Very true.
Longing for the beloved self is the nature of every seeker. That's and at first you're full of power and you love yourself, full of love for yourself, and then it turns sour and then you become a Saka seeker. Then you really be pissed that you have to be alive. So both sides are there, the loving and the hating side. So some love affair turns sour, and that makes you really pissed and angry inside. And if you walk around in the world, you only experience anger of people. Sometimes there's less anger, and then they call a peaceful person. There's less anger, but normally even that is fragile. And the anger can come out any moment.
Absolutely.
It will come, because it's just hidden by concepts, by civilization. That's all. So the anger of God, that he cannot know himself, that he is a doubtful God, will always be present, in this presence. Sometimes he can control it, like controlling his mind, because mind means trying to get something, minding something. Sometimes then he called himself awakened or something. No, I control my mind, I keep quiet. I learn to keep quiet. I'm quiet now. Or I'm aware now. I'm aware that nothing ever matters. I am aware. Whatever starts with I. So, there's one who defines himself as something. Whatever it is, it has to be, what? Finer. Because that's the nature of a definer. He wants to be finer. A fine artist. Not a cross one. Whatever. So, the finest is being awareness. Or being emptiness, or being nothing. That's really fine. Oh, I define myself as nothing. Now I know myself as nothing. No, it always sounds good. And there is an advantage in it.
Sure.
Absolutely. But the advantage means there is one who needs it, and that's a total disadvantage. So that whatever gives you an advantage confirms that there is one who needs one, and that is a disadvantage. So it confirms that there is a needy me who needs an advantage. Whatever you reach, awareness or whatever state of samadhi or whatever kind, confirms that there is one who needs it. It's such a trick, such a big trap.
And like you said the other day, the kind of bigger me actually is a lot more tolerable, at least, than the small.
Yo. But
my experience.
Yeah, you can accept it easier.
Yeah.
But the acceptance will go again.
Yeah.
It comes and goes like by circumstances. So as I said, the oneness is you can easily accept. It's a piece of cake. Everyone can accept oneness. It's really a piece of cake. But to accept the separation, no one could ever do that. It's impossible. So it's possible to accept oneness. It's like a God, oneness, ha ha ha. Bliss, oh, mamma mia. To be in ecstasy, natural acceptance, But then in being this hell of whatever, where's your acceptance? And there will always be a big camel coming, stepping on your feet, and you will be angry again. So what to do? And I sit here and tell you, you have to be in any circumstance, in any given or not giving whatever experience what you are. And that's the treasure you are, and not something what is some special tralala, which makes you some special tralala, a part of something. Realized master of some realized shit. Look, because whatever you can realize is shit, but never what you are. So what to do? So it always has to, you will be tested, that's for sure. God will cut you down. You can, if you cannot make it, you fake it, but you can only fake it for some time. Because all that realization, all that understanding needs some control, you need some power, some energy, some effort. Something, even not to make an effort, you have to make a subtle effort. You have to be quiet. Even that is an effort. So one day you will fail again. So we don't have to worry about all that awakenings and things, because one day God will cut them down. Show them how awakened they are. So
I think it's just my turn in the cycle to. I've been probably a bit too good at faking it, you know.
Yeah.
I got really
But you
good.
cannot fake it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what is a lie,
Yeah.
and you know it by heart, and not by any understanding or something. But you know it, because you know what is there, what is real. So what to do it? One day it will break. The fake bridges will break. You still will be Jeff without bridges. Jeff Bridges. No, I enjoy the failings, but enjoy the traps, whatever, because you cannot escape the traps which are made by yourself. And all the traps of enlightenment and awakening and all come by themselves, to yourself. Like you present yourself, all of that, and You believe in yourself. And that's the biggest whatever. You fall in love with your image. And being in love with an image of yourself, then you're in trouble. So what to do?
But it's so nice being seduced, isn't it?
You're longing for to be seduced.
Yeah.
You're always ready to be seduced. You're always ready for the new idea, a new concept of the new earth, the power of now, the whatever. You are longing for it. You are hungry for all that little hope. You need hope. The Pope is for hope and not for one day I will make it. Imagine there will never be any day or any moment you will make it anyway. What will happen then? Imagine you have to be what you are in spite of any future or past or whatever you imagine. And you are that anyway. That's more than easy. Then why this guy said it's more than easy to be what you are, but to be not what you are, you need an effort. The effort of imagination. So be the laziest bastard you are already. Your laziness itself. So be the laziness, which just be the laziest you cannot imagine. You are so lazy that you cannot even imagine how lazy you are. Because at the moment you try to imagine how lazy you are, you make too much effort. Fuck. Oh, I like it. I like to see myself being trapped by itself and always stepping into the same traps of I want comfort, I want comfort. I want comfort for my beloved. I want only the best for my beloved. And only enlightenment is the best for my beloved me. It's out of love, and love is the biggest crook. Loving yourself is a great separation. Fuck it. Be what you are with and without this. Whatever you imagine it. Because love is an imagination, what else? How can that absolute be in love with something? How can that absolute self have a relationship to anything? How can that happen? Then they call it love. For what? You can call it underwear or anything. It never minds what you call it, but she needs to go to Coffin, to Coffs Harbor. Sleeping under the... I like the stingy seekers. They are too stingy for climate ACs, and then they have to sing on all the time, and then they have this coffin happening, and then they spend more money on the doctors and singing there and going there. I like stingy seekers, because they think AC is not spiritual. The mind fuck goes really so deep, I tell you. Isn't it? You have to be tough. Yeah. You have to be in summer here when no one is here and you only have a little fan maybe running. If you cannot do that.
No, you sit with 5 fires. You sit in the middle under the midnight sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweat.
You sweat for yourself.
You burn yourself out.
Then they make noise all the time. If they don't cough, they make noise otherwise. So what to do? Huh? No, I have many around whatever. I've met 20 years now I talk about that, and I try to, and I know it's futile. But I enjoy nothing more than the futility of talking. And whatever. This is joy. This is meditation. There's no expectation in all of that. It will never change. Consciousness will always inquire in every possible stupid way to know itself. And it will never succeed. So, I always tell consciousness, try harder, baby. I watch you. So what to do? Man, don't make so much noise. Plastic. Become more aware about your plastic. It's amazing how much noise one can make with plastic. Yeah? Like this is a plastic. Plastizid. Look at me, I can make noise too.
Yeah, yours is special special noise.
Yeah, but what the boss?
Yeah,
Block.
you're the noisemaker.
I'm the noisemaker here, you understand?
That's the deal here.
Hey, Chennai.
Hi, how are you?
Bad, you see.
What happened?
I looked at the snake and the snake was faster than me. So I jumped away.
Okay.
The body reacted and I jumped half of the apartment down, bang. Stupid. Body is just stupid. Or intelligent, because who knows
you
what...
You haven't learned to charm snakes after all your visits to
To what?
You haven't learned to charm snakes?
No, if the problem is, if there would be fear for snakes, I would be paralyzed, nothing would have happened. But as there is no fear, the body just jumps. I have no control about this apparatus. It just fucks around.
And it was a rope anyway, wasn't it?
Maybe it was a rope after all.
The what?
Maybe it was a rope, just a rope.
That would be even more funny.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's a proof of my helplessness. I enjoy helplessness. If I would be in charge and aware and think, I would hate it. But I never needs to be aware of anything. The body just reacts like. As the other day, I closed the window. There was like the tail of a gecko fall down, and he ran the other way. So two energies. One running there, and the other for 5 minutes. Tuck, 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 tuck. Still making this 5 minutes. I watched it. I was fascinated. Live in action, the energy moving the tail for a long, long time. I said, stop it, come on, what? You're just a tail. But the tail didn't listen. And the gecko, making that noise there, but it grows again. So that is like the ego. You cut the ego and then it grows again, because the gecko is still there. It was a perfect example. He made it the when is running. Well, no, for me, the ego will always grow his fairy tale again, his story. So this little me is like a gecko. It loses always sometimes. It's a no me, but the no me grows the me again. Fantastic. So existence shows you exactly how it works. It's the bloody Trinity. There will always be a leaf again, the believer, and the leaf wants to be the tree. And then the one day the leaf believes I'm not a leaf anymore, I'm now the tree. I woke up to be a tree, because as a part of the tree, I'm as much the tree as the tree itself. Then I'm Jeff Foster. Because then the wave is not different from the ocean. Fantastic. And I know him. Good. So, questions? No, just make it a circus acts. It's all circus acts of a consciousness. Imagining, huh? Wow, fantastic. And nothing happens. Wow. Uzbekistan. What's today? Better today?
No.
No? It is not meant to be good, I tell you.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah, you started good and now it goes down. You started at the top, then zoom. Many have this honeymoon, which sometimes 1 day, sometimes 1 week, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes a year, but then for sure, after honeymoon comes
Washing up.
yeah, make the dishes.
Always a bloody washing up.
The dishes have to be done sooner or later. In honeymoon you can leave them.
Somehow there is some peace in all this, I don't know.
Peace.
Yeah, even if it's very kind of getting worse every day. But I cannot define this peace very it's kind of, when I'm trying to see what it is, it's just, I cannot see where it comes from. It comes together.
You mean you cannot, you don't know where it came from and where it goes because it was always there? No, or what? So it's not something what comes or goes. Just your attention goes sometimes outside and sometimes the attention just is quiet and then the peace is naturally there. But it was before there, before you even experienced it. So that absolute experience of peace was uninterrupted. You just go out for a while. It's like you go astray. And then you, just by being quiet, it's there. But it's not something what comes. It was always there. So your nature, your natural state is not something what comes and goes. You just go out by your imagination, then you come back. But so by going out by imagination, you don't leave your home, and when you go back, you don't go home because you were always that. So what to do? You don't have to go out anymore. Try to stay home. That's one too many. It will not allow you to stay home. You have to go out. Do your job. Or not? Because you would like to stay home, but you cannot. Circumstances dictate that you have to brush your teeth in the morning. And then you smell yourself. Then you have to take a shower. No one ever made it to stay home. Every night there's no one at home and still you are what you are, and every morning this guest wakes up and then starts troubling, or troubling, whatever. Good. Anything else? Okay. Something new from Chennai? I always forget your name. Huh?
Kiran.
Kiran, yeah. That's true. Forgot. Too long ago. We know us too long.
Yeah, been a while.
20 years? No, 50. So old. So anything from? No? Something? I'm here to, I'm an answering machine. And someone has to, some call me a jukebox. But you have to put something in. And you have to choose a question or a record.
Carl, it's not in at the moment. Please leave your question after the tone.
Where do we get a free lunch today?
To what?
Where do we get a free lunch today?
Free lunch?
Yeah, that's the question.
Ramana Ashram.
No, that was yesterday.
Ramana Ashram. But for that you have to dress different. No, even some Westerners go there and try. Famous. No, Ama Ashram is always good for it. Once in a while they let you go in. I never tried, but I heard people do that.
Yesterday was the big day. Punavasu, Ramana's birth star. Everyone goes in.
Everybody gets fed then. You just turn up, you get fed.
Sounds good, you see. People know how to get free meals.
Every 27 days.
But he could not go because he had to sing bhajans.
Hey, how do you know that?
Fuck!
How do you know that?
Wow.
He asked me not to tell you about
shut up.
him yesterday.
About what?
He asked me, don't say anything about Bhajan.
For 20 years I know there are bhajans in his bloody house. Every Sunday. Sometimes I even went in the beginning.
You never.
I was there in the house.
Oh, in the old house, yeah.
Yeah. On the roof.
You know it's on Sunday, but do you know it's Sunday? That's the question.
Yeah. Shiva, Shava, Shiva, Shambhu.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
No, when you were speaking in Narayan, you said about it's hard to accept separation.
It's impossible, I say.
Impossible, if you like. But it's impossible because it seems to me the very nature of that separation or hell is that you're just identified with it, with that illusion or whatever, so there's not even any possibility that you'd what does it mean that you accept or don't accept that?
Because in acceptance you would not exist anymore. So you cannot accept.
Yeah, sure, it can't be.
So your acceptance is relative, and
Yeah.
it's just like a attempt. But by trying to accept it, to confirm that there is separation.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Not that's the whole problem. So you will never accept it.
No.
By you trying to accept it, you confirm that there is some difference, there is some others,
Sure,
and
not
you.
personally, but you
Not
suggest-
personally, there is
Yeah.
only personally. There is nothing else than personally.
But you're
What you're talking about?
Aren't you always suggesting that you just see that it's okay as it is? whether
I
it's
didn't say
separation
that.
or-
That's already too
But
much.
it's self-realization through separation.
Self-realization never happens.
That self realizes itself also in this samsara. You seem to be saying that.
I say the reality is realizing itself without realizing itself. That you cannot understand. But that's the case. Because the story of the realizer has nothing to do with reality. So reality is always silence. There is no realization of silence. So the dream of realization is only in the story of the realizer, but never of that reality. So reality is never realizing anything. If reality would realize something, it would be different from its realization. The reality of the realizer, realizing what can be realized, is never realizing anything. It's just what it is. So whatever you talk now about is a relative realizer talking about a relative story of realization. That's all. So self is ever realized means it's never is realizing itself. So you can always say what we can talk about is part of realization, but what is reality can never be whatever. You can never find any reality in it.
That's easy for you to say.
What?
That's easy for you to say. Try repeating it. You can't, can you?
Why should I repeat something?
You shouldn't. I just find it highly amusing.
That's why I'm sitting here, that I cannot repeat myself. If I could repeat myself, I would sit at home and watch television. I have to sit here and listen to myself because I cannot repeat myself. Fantastic, huh? What a trap.
So what do you think Ramana was saying when he says that the words that have hooked me in for quite a long time, stay as the self, or abide?
Be as you are.
Yeah. I heard that, I heard Ramdas tell me that 40 years ago. So.
Yeah, be as you are means be absolute. That's what you are. And absolute being means you don't know what you are and what you're not, because reality doesn't know what is real and what is unreal. So be as you are, being that absolute reality which doesn't even know any reality. Be the absolute self, it doesn't even know any self.
Come on.
Yeah, that gives bullets into your brain. What can I do? I can just point to that, what you can never get. And for me it's easy to talk about it, but I know you will never understand, and what you are doesn't need to understand. So I just enjoying that something comes out of this loudspeaker, which is absolutely irrelevant for what it is. But this is meditation. This is like being what you are, absolute in action. Being the action, but there is no actor and nothing is active. You are the action. You are the realization, but there is no realizer in it. Because a realizer is a real lie. They all realize. So the whole realization are real lies. And you are the lies. You are the reality in action. You experience yourself as lies. The liar, the lying, and the lie. Whatever you can lie. So, but you don't have to rely on it. Come on. The liar relies on his lies. That's his realizer. But what you are, come on. You are with and without, that's all. But that's what I said first, inspired, you are. Never because of any realizer who is realizing himself deeper or higher or in any way of cleverness and intellect bullshit. Come on. Be that what is intellect, but you don't have intellect. Be that what is spirit, but you don't have spirit. Be that what is universe, but universe doesn't know any universe. So by being what you are, you absolutely don't know what you are and what you're not. But the moment you are one who understood something or realized something, you're fucked anyway. That's fact.
And to whom or what are you saying this?
That's my 15 years now. That question comes again every second day when I talk to him. Every second day. And I can never satisfy him. Because he tries to get it, but this is not something to get. So I tell him every time a different story.
That's why I keep get your story straight, Carl.
I like nothing more than I can switch between whatever I say and all this bullshit anyway, and if you get it or not, I give a shit. And that carelessness is the only what I can present. That's all. This tastelessness of carelessness is all I can present about not being a teacher who have a firm teaching and having a firm, very solid message.
God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid. Fuck the solid messages and be what you are, because nothing is solid enough for you.
Still, I wonder who you're saying that to. Be
What?
as you are. When you say be as you are, who are you saying
Be an ass as you are. Don't be a relative ass, be the absolute ass.
Do you say that to the phantom?
To who else can I talk?
All right.
It's fun. One phantom to the other phantom. Phantomus. Not Tomasic. Yeah, it's really, if I would not see that it's, or know it is impossible to understand, whatever,
Yeah.
I would kill you all right away. If I would imagine, or if I would think you could get it, what you say, I would kill you right away. I wouldn't have no patience here. But there's an infinite patience of talking, because I see no one ever will get it, including this guy. Otherwise there would be no passion. I would kill everybody. Right away. If there would be a possibility that you could understand what you are, and you could realize your true nature, I would kill you right away, because you, come on, nothing is more easy than that, to be what you are. But you live by complicated things. That's your complicated bullshit. You need to have to make it complicated. Easy is for you hell, because in easiness you don't exist. So you avoid easiness. You make it complicated. How can I be easy? Again. How can I be easy? All that, and who needs to be easy? Then already you find a way out of it. How can I be easy? How can I be at ease? No, when there is ease, you are not there. Yeah. Confirmation, yes. Genießen. In German is genießen. It means like enjoying. When you enjoying, yeah. Energy. Salute. So, what else?
No. You can stop. Because it's not a real question, but when you say be as you are, be what can or not be. Okay, but that's already the case.
Yeah, but it's a koan. But now he says, it's already the case, I don't have to do anything. Me. I don't have to do anything because I understood it's already the case. 15 years now, the same answer, the same question. It doesn't, there's no process, it's just the same question, same answer. Should I be pissed now?
I'm consistent.
Maybe he's the proof that I'm really not a teacher.
I'm checking you out.
He is proving you cannot learn anything here. Now it's totally confirmed. With Karl, you don't learn anything. 15 years, the same question, and different answers, but the question is still there.
I'm a good example.
Yeah, you're my best whatever. My best student. I will never lose him. Impossible to improve. He's proven that he cannot improve. No, but it's really like this is the main question: why and who? To who would it happen, and why? Why not me? If it can happen, and why not me? Why not to me? And all this question coming from the same why. Why and why not me? And why to him and why not me? Why you? As I always say, they always tell me why you may whatever and why not me? I can say 1,000 times and nothing happened to me. What you see as Karl is for sure is as stupid as you. You never got anything. But what to do? But then still, why him? Not me. In Berlin they call me Swami Teflon. Why Teflon? Because nothing sticks on you. So yes. Yeah. Something more.
No, I understand where it was coming from.
Yeah, he's
when you're not, playing budget, what are you going to do? Come and get some entertainment somewhere.
I'm good for it. I'm a Jew for it. I rather entertain myself than bore myself, I tell you. What can I do? Meanwhile, at the ranch, we entertain ourselves because what else to do? It's like Dallas. If you're rich enough, you don't have to work anymore, but so you need some entertainment.
Between the acts. Original meaning of entertainment is a show between the acts of an opera or something. You're between the acts, you're giving.
Meanwhile on the ranch. So, something from the back. Huh? We met once? No, you! Don't turn around. We met once, huh? I went to your house. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Why?
You remember that?
Fuck, I remember everything.
No, not my name.
Yeah, names never. I remember the cities where someone comes from, or the nation, but names are really, it's impossible. Sometimes after years I remember Upaha, okay. But I remember his real name even more.
Which you're very kindly
No, sometimes I do, sometimes not. I have no control about it. Sometimes I wake up. Gustav? No, Karl. Because I have 3 names, Karl, Gustav, Rudolf. So sometimes I wake up as Gustav. But mostly Karl. Rudolf, really rarely. Because Rudolf I don't like Rudolf so much, but Gustav, okay. But
Christmas
Karl. Huh?
Christmas time.
Yeah, Karl, Gustav, Rudolf.
God, sounds like
the 3 kings of Sweden. But my preference is Karl. So, your question now, can I give something back for the food? Something to digest for your brain? Or all fine?
Enjoying the talk.
Yeah, that's your camp for. I am here for being enjoyed, and we are enjoying what we are. That is called the joy in action. Without expecting something to take home for that. That is the joy of. I can only offer that. Not some teaching you can go home and employ in your daily life, because I fuck the daily life, I tell you. What daily life would it be? Wow. But some teachers, they say you have to make a proof, you have to test it in your daily life if it works and things. I say fuck it. Whatever works is bullshit.
I was reading a quote of Maharaj. He said, whatever you gain has no value, and the one who gains also has no value.
The gainer and what is gained is Sat Chit Ananda. But you are Sat Hit Ananda. But Ananda is everywhere. So even Ananda is in shit. in Chit and in Chit. Ananda is the nature of life. So if it's Sat Chit Ananda, it's okay. If it's Sat Chit Ananda, it's okay too. It's always okay, actually. So what to do? And you will always cheat yourself. Because you realize yourself as a cheater cheating what can be cheated. The biggest tricks are ever. And how not to be cheated by oneself. Huh? How not be tricked by all of that, what one is. Wow. Impossible to resist. You cannot resist yourself. Fantastic, huh? Resistance is futile. Absolutely. Fantastic. So you better enjoy yourself, because it will take a while. And you cannot imagine how long. So, okay. With the question, you're just out with it. Oh no, not you out, but the question out. Good. Anybody else from the... We know us, huh? No, the lady. This lady or that lady? No, you. You are from Germany? Yes, you?
From Minsk.
From Minsk? Ah, yeah, from Russia. No, not from, yeah, from Minsk. Yeah, from Moscow we know us. Now, you see, I really have to go through it, and then the face, I know the face, but then I have to place it somewhere. And all good? In Tiru? Your English is okay?
Already better.
Already better? Okay. Your teacher?
No.
No? You have a question? No? What is going on here? What is his name? You always came with a guy from Minsk.
Andrew?
Andrew? Yeah? Is he okay?
He's really okay and told to say hello.
Okay, say hello too. Hello to Minsk. You? From Russia too? No? Yeah? From Minsk too, yeah. Many Minsker. Now the season starts when the Russians come. Good. Margot? No? You're fine, yeah, but no question? No. You can be fine and have a question. Yeah, I'm very generous. You know me. Hopeless cases here. No questions.
Boring, isn't it?
Well, something more from...
No, that was a big one. Bite in self was a big one for me.
The bite in the self.
It's a great hook.
Yeah, but that's the only way.
It's brilliant. Because you can never...
No, just you have to abide in that what never needs to abide in anything.
Yeah.
So it's like a paradox.
Yeah.
Every pointer is pointing to the paradox. You have to be what you are by not being what you are. And that cannot be grabbed by any of this little peanut in your brain. So what to do? It's not for that little peanut, this whatever pointer.
And it's the fact that Ravana, it's his words. Yeah, because he's such an exquisite example of humility. And
now go on thin ice. Now you go on thin ice.
Yeah, I'm happy to on thin ice. I'm aware of that.
Huh?
I'm aware of that.
To make him like that is very thin ice.
Exactly.
Because he would never agree with it.
Yeah. I'm happy to slip through too.
You make it specially for that maybe the ice is so thin that you break through. Yeah. Then I have a breakthrough.
Yeah, then everything will be all right.
Or you drown, and then... cannot breathe anymore. No, for me it was the most ordinary. There is no such thing as you, whatever you call it. Whatever you put as a, it doesn't fit. You cannot make any attribute to that guy. Example of what? Example of what? Example of being the most ordinary? Whatever, even that is putting an attribute to it. You cannot do anything with him. It's totally useless. Yeah, this uselessness, that is what he presents. Uselessness. Carelessness, uselessness, whatever. What can you do with silence? You want to employ it, and that's your problem. You want to make it work for your daily life, and then it becomes a problem. That's all. But you cannot employ him. He's a symbol of laziness. In spite of getting up and very early and kitchen work for 4 hours. Working his ass off. When he was tired enough, he was sitting quietly somewhere, presenting silence. Being angry in the kitchen and then being worked out. 8 o'clock in the morning, Westerners come. What a peaceful... And he was known for being had a big temper and being angry and singing and loud and noisy. But when 8 o'clock in the morning, he worked it out. And then he was a peaceful guru, presenting a peaceful guy sitting there, reading comic strips, Mickey Mouse, daily use. So what can you make out of him? That's his danger, because you cannot make him special. But you try. I was fighting against it a long time, sitting here, fighting against to make Ramana some special role model. Because the moment you want to make him a role model, you can be a safe being asshole. Because you will never reach him. You will never reach his state. So you make his, whatever, on a throne somewhere, on a big protest or whatever, putting him higher, where you cannot reach him. Because then it's not dangerous anymore. Because then you put something there, what is, oh, you are safe in your little, whatever, life thing, my little daily life, and say, I will never become like him. Then you are safe. If you're just as you are, eye to eye, that is the Sadhguru thing. That's a danger. That is in no way special. As much, whatever, an absolute human when he is human, an absolute spirit when he is spirit, an absolute awareness when he is awareness, but neither. This, what is so natural, that is the danger of him. And not being an example of whatever. Yeah, so in that way. It's this little trick in everyone who wants to make someone back better as oneself. And something what you cannot reach. Unreachable for what I am. And then you feel safe. This is a little survival system inside. You want to survive as a phantom because you're fearing yourself. As you know by instinct you cannot survive in it. So you try everything to survive, even putting Ramana on a protest and making him some special whatever. For that you are safe, because that I can never reach. So I can be safe as my little me, because I know my little I. Yeah. So that's why it's all a survival system, everything. Trying to know, trying to understand, trying to make some special whatever teacher and thing, and my guru, and I'm a devotee, and making yourself special. Because as long as you're a devotee, you are safe. As long as you're a disciple, you're safe. Even when you're a master, you're safe, because then you're a master of someone. You need this MS. You are a slave or you're a master. As both you are safe as little me. When there is neither master or slave, then you're in danger. That's the biggest danger. You even try to, you like to be a slave of love, because then at least you're a slave, because you can survive. You're a slave of suffering, because in suffering, as a sufferer, you can survive. In pain, oh yes, pain is great for me to survive. I'm in such a good pain today. What a tricky thing, huh? Yeah, that's and no way out of it. You cannot get out of it. The next trap is already there. And the trap is, even when you know all the traps, possible traps you know, and you don't step in anyone anymore, that's the biggest trap. Me, I know all the traps. Now I am so fucking aware that I don't step in anything. I just remain as a canvas. I just remain as a screen where all the projections dance on it. I just stay there. I abide as a screen. I'm fine. I'm fine. Coming in, coming out. Welcome, welcome. Ping pong. Bong, 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 bong. Advantage. Bong, bong, advantage. The advantage point. I'm Boris now. Becker. How many traps are there? I tell you, as infinite as your nature, as reality is, or whatever, it's the traps of reality. Fantastic. And you cannot step into the trap which is made by yourself. No way. And the love is the biggest trap, and you cannot avoid love. Even if you see love as a trap, and love is the biggest, whatever, veil for being what you are. You cannot. So even to destroy love, you do it out of love. What else can you fucking do? A fucking absolute love affair. And I never will know my beloved. Thanks God and hallelujah and praise the Lord, just in case, huh? Imagine you could know your beloved. Then you would really be separated from him, huh? It was the joy of not knowing yourself and not catching yourself and not whatever, always failing. The joy of failing and not the joy of succeeding. Because every succeeding makes you a sucker, you know that. Yeah, well, in that case you enjoy failing. You try singing. Huh?
I'll sing you a song.
Every musician tries to make music. Imagine, you try to make music. It's like you try to make life.
So what is music?
Music doesn't know any music. Music is music.
It gets made.
But in music there is no musician who has a taste of music. There is no nice bachan singing in music. It's just another, the kettle, the noise of the kettle or the train noise.
So ultimately there's no...
All is music.
No difference between this sound and...
There's a difference, but it doesn't make it... There is a difference, but it doesn't make one.
Yeah, okay.
For what is life, all is this is the music of life.
Yeah.
The sound of silence. So what to do?
Enjoy it.
You don't even have to enjoy it. That's the nature of joy. Joy doesn't need to enjoy anything to be joy. That's a joy. You don't have to enjoy anything. And the one who says, I enjoy myself, it's already too late.
So why do you use a word like joy for this, what you speak of?
Because it's common.
Just because it's the word people use.
Yeah, why, that you have a little idea about it. If I call it underwear, you would say, well, why is underwear something? Then I have to explain you underwear first. That you are aware and unaware what you are. That's called underwear. You are underwear. You're more than down under. You are underwear.
Ananda.
An underwear. Yeah, that's a big whatever pointer. You are aware and you are unaware. So you are in spite of aware or unaware what you are. That's all. I just repeat that. This pointer I can just repeat infinitely. You're conscious and unconscious. You are alive and dead, what you are. That is his pointer, his dead experience. You are alive and dead, what you are. So you are in spite of being alive, and you are in spite of being dead, you are. So your being doesn't even have to be to be. So you are that absolute life who doesn't even have to live to be that what is life. So living and dead, that. What else do you want? Not enough? Then they asked me, please elaborate. We have to work on it. Yeah, no coffin anymore?
No coffin.
It helped.
And I never have a fan on, so.
Yeah, maybe you should have one on. She has no fan on. I have many fans on. No offense. No question today from Germany. This is always the world around most famous skate show. It's like you try to make like some liquid in one corner, and maybe there's something. If I give more blood to that side, maybe then there comes a question. Maybe shaking is better.
Scratching.
No head banging. One hand clapping works always. That is Osho's one hand clapping. Of course, with the other hand, he had to hold his laughing gas. Taking a captagon or something. It's like this cognition that, oh, shit, it's me. It was, it is, it will be me. Fuck. Bang, bang. Good. Still nothing. Still enjoying it. Or not? Okay. From Russia, with love. It's hard to have questions when they even don't come in Russian, no?
We should get Russian translator, like
No, not here. It's enough in Moscow. Then I have translators. 7 years I was in Moscow, every year sometimes. Yeah, and the biggest joke was once, I always said the story about the Dalai Lama, where he's still angry and tempted and whatever. And I said, and the statement of Dalai Lama was when he has to explain why he still has the anger and temper and whatever. Oh, these are just the genes of my father. They're living out. And the translator translated, these are just the blue genes of my father. And of him, what? The Dalai Lama has to wear the blue jeans of his father and that makes him angry? I know everyone. What is that joke? Then I had to explain again. The genes. So you never can trust the translator. The word is trance later. You cannot. It doesn't work, huh? I did it in Paris. That's why I hate Paris, because it's always later. They laugh too late. It's all too late. French. In Moscow, at least, they're fun. They just, when they see me, they laugh. I cannot help it. Huh? what to do. Must be funny. Good, Andres. Ganesha, you hope for something? Ganesha. Tranquilizer or something? Yeah, trunk. You know what a trunk is?
Trunk.
Yeah, the nose of the elephant. That's why Ganesha is like a symbol of tranquility. Tranquility. And another symbol for sure too. Good. Yeah, some question from the back. Japan, all good?
I had this strange dream last night, but and then I was getting, coming towards up, but in the morning I saw the mountain, I see that moment the mountain, then everything disappearing, and even I forget what the problem was. This happened to me. Before I come already 16 years, every year coming to Padamaya. It's a very difficult time I had, but really like a magic. Many things happen and I'm very well now. And even I have a problem, but even I can't disappear in this problem, but I don't know if it's good or not, because, you told me that reality is not reality and what can I say? Because my problem is also it's reality to me, but it's if I don't think my problem, it's also become reality in me, and of course I try to choose happiness. I try to choose without problem. But it's
and that creates the problems.
Yes, can say also.
No. You have a preference of happiness, you makes you unhappy. That's the nature of the preference of happiness.
Oh, yes.
No, I tell you, if you ask me, that you are only miserable because you have a preference of not being miserable. You're only unhappy because you have a preference of happiness. Both comes together. The idea of happiness creates unhappiness. The imagination of peace creates war. All of that comes together. Trying to not have problems, that's the biggest problem. Actually, the only one. If there's a problem at all. But what can you do? Huh? Yes, even Shiva cannot choose. Huh?
Also, I know that I can make a question to you, but I cannot make a question to the mountain because this is also, I think, wrong. I feel it's not. I don't come and ask myself question. I stop actually. If I saw the mountain, my question disappears.
Yeah, then you should.
But for you, I can ask.
Yeah. That I'm here for. Then I ask the mountain, and the mountain tells me to tell you. In that sense, I'm a translator too. Or Trance now.
That was it? That was it?
I don't know. She wants to know more about it. I'm already satisfied. But ladies always want to know more what happens. Men are quite easy in that. No, if it works for you that you're here and your problem, and you look at the mountain, the problem is gone. Sure. Problem solved. Bye-bye. Dr. Arunachala. But you're laughing there.
Ja, it's true.
Moscow. Huh?
It's true.
To what?
It's true.
I talked to her. There's a psychotherapy here. Dr. Arunachala and his patients. Yeah, it's like if you feel good around it, then but if sometimes the honeymoon is over and you really feel shit here, then you blame it to the mountain too. And then you make the opposite, you try to run away. But does the mountain care if you blame it or not? Or does the mountain you anyway? Or does the mountain know that the mountain is a mountain? That's the question. Or does the mountain need to know that, to be a mountain, to be a mountain? Does life need to know to be life, to be life? Does the self needs to know the self to be the self? Tell me. Come on, you have to say it now. I cannot do everything. Now I have to make the questions myself here. You have to give the answer.
Yes.
Maybe.
No, I would say it can.
But you're in a dream. I'm only dreaming you. So I'm not going to believe a word you say.
If I would be in your dream, I would kill you.
I kill myself if I was in his dream.
You're already dead when you are in his dream. And opposite. There's nothing else to do. It cannot not know itself as whatever. It knows itself as knowledge, and that whatever you call ignorance. It cannot not know itself. It is a knowledge who is realizing itself as whatever. So it cannot not know itself. Only a relative phantom can know or not know. But that what is knowledge. It has to know. It is knowledge. It cannot not know that what it is. And that absolutely. So absolutely you know that you are. And relatively you claim not to know, or you know. But does it make you more or less? Huh? Claiming a little body, to have a little body, does it make you less? Or claiming to have the big body, does it make you more? So be as you are means be as absolute in whatever. You are the absolute in being very small and very big. So by being small, you're not small, and by being big, you're not big. And in knowing you don't, you know, and in not knowing you know. You cannot not know. Did you get it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I opened my mouth, it came in.
When you opened your mouth,
It came in.
it came to your mouth.
Yes.
No, it's amazing. This famous Ramakrishna is a famous pointer or whatever, that you can even not know yourself, you have to be. That you can deny to exist, you have to be. That you cannot experience yourself, you have to be. That whatever, you have to be. You cannot not be. So be that what you cannot not be. And that is, whatever you say it's not, but, or it is, who cares? As you cannot not be that. But you try to find out, you try to find a way out of what? Where do you want to go? When you're outside, then you want to go back. When you're inside, you want to go out. You always, it's always wrong. Wherever you are is wrong. And I sit here and tell you, be happy that it's wrong. Because wherever you are is wrong anyway. If it would be right, there would be something right and something wrong. But wherever you are is wrong. Maybe that's right. Who knows? Because wherever you are has to be wrong. The yammering will continue. The poor me business. Without a poor me, you cannot exist as this yammering little tombstone. Ooh, I want to feel life, I want to feel alive, me, I want to know myself. Yammering and yammering and yammering. But what would you do without yammering? Maybe yammering that you don't have to something to yammering about.
Give it back to him.
So, questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
About silence.
Silence.
I keep hearing silence of the mind everywhere, but I don't understand this concept because to me there's never any silence.
You're right, it's a concept. The mind can never be silent.
But I keep hearing it.
I know.
Everyone keeps saying it.
It's a big lie of teachers. It's like a big advertisement to come to them because they are teachers of silence. And then, because you will never succeed in that, the mind will never be silent. So you will always fail. So
Do they claim their mind is silent?
they claim that they mastered their mind. So let them claim it. You don't have to be. They mastered just a piece of shit. So then they have a piece of shit who is silent. So what? Or quiet. Let them be happy. But see, it's like Buddha said, if you meet Buddha on the way, kill him. Because there is no one who can master life. There is no one who can master mind. There is no master of the mind. There is no master of time. There is no master of heart or whatever. So if you meet some of these masters, just see, fuck it. They're just claiming something what is bullshit. And who needs to master his mind anyway? The answer is always permanent me. So the me, whatever. No, it's fun. It's like like a circus of masters and whatever, trying to tame something in a circus of life. So one can be generous because let them believe in it. Sooner or later they lose it again, for sure. Because whatever you gain is already gone. So whatever can be quiet will be noisy again. For whatever time it may be quiet. And by they just being quiet, keeping quiet, effort, quiet, maybe there is like, they are quiet, okay. Bravo! Good circus act. But the question is, who needs the advantage of being quiet? The question is always, who needs it? And the answer is permanent me, or he. And he claims that he made it, and he wants to sell it to me. So it's a business running. He wants to sell what he has not attained. And you want to buy, because you're always ready to buy. Because you're a buyer, and he is a seller. So he sells you something what you maybe put like. So two cheaters meeting, cheating each other. And everyone wants to make a best deal. You want to get enlightened from him, a silent mind, and he wants to sell you something for nothing. What he doesn't even have. So it's always business. Business between two, what? Phantoms. Phantoms always need to be busy and being in business with what they have and what they don't have. And it's always like an underlying greed inside. And the moment there's maybe a fair trade, oh, that was a good deal. Oh. And then there's peace. A moment of peace when you feel, oh, I got something for very cheap, and the other one thinks I sold something for very high. Then there's a moment of peace, and both are smiling.
A quiet mind, periods of, even if it's 5 minutes, is a much more enjoyable.
Yeah, but the question again, for who? For who? For who?
For the mind.
For the who?
For the ego.
For the me.
For the me.
Yeah, so enjoy it. And know it will not last. And you know it by heart. Any moment you're happy, you know it's ending. But any moment you're sad, you imagine it never ends. So what is more solid? No, what is more solid? I asked you, what is more solid?
Neither is solid.
Sadness is very solid.
Well, it's heavier. It's
It's not heavier. It's only heavy because you compare it with happiness. Only you compare it with happiness, that makes it heavy. Because you want to be light, and you have an idea of being light and heavy. That makes it heavy. But I tell you, the sadness will always be waiting for you. Happiness is fleeting. Sadness remains. Just a moment of, I was gone, and then you're back again, and then you're in the presence of sadness. So you better get used to that sadness, because it always waits for you.
You can't laugh about it, you're fucked.
Because the sadness of God, that there is no second God, the sadness will be there. And you always imagine a Playmobil, something to play with, another God, just for playing with it. Maybe you just, and then for a moment it makes you happy, but then it's empty again. You need another Playmobil, another idea, another imaginary thing.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, so the sadness remains.
It's the underlying.
It's always there, permanent. And and joy is experiencing itself as sadness. So the nature of sadness is joy. So being the sadness, there is no one who is in sadness, and then it's joy. But if you want to escape sadness and want to be happy, you make it, you step out of it, you become a part, a separate, whatever, happy person, and the happy person is the most unhappy one. You know that. So disappear in sadness. Because the sadness is always welcoming you. There's an acceptance of sadness. And when you are sadness, there is no one who is sad anymore. Never was, never will be. But you're trying to be happy, that makes you a sad one. So the attempt to be happy makes you sad. By being sadness, what is sadness? Just a presence. But no one is present. There's a presence in spite of you. But you can only be me in sadness and happiness. So you want to be happy, and by that you create sadness, and that you can play with. This little me. Because when there is only sadness, you cannot survive. There is no one who survives in sadness without the opposite of happiness. So you create an imaginary happiness that you can be unhappy and suffering, because the sufferer needs suffering. Without suffering you cannot survive. So what are you doing? Trying to survive. And how can you survive? In suffering best. And how to create suffering? By wanting to be happy. You know it. It's your trick. If I want to be happy, and I know I will not be happy because it's a temporary one, I can survive. Because that will make me a sad one. And as a sad one, I can survive. Wonderful trick. Huh? How tricky you can be. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolute tricky.
Yeah.
Master of tricks. That's called the devil, actually. The devil who creates heaven and hell. Trying to be God. Be God. All that. Lucifer, who tells himself, I have to know myself. I bring light into the darkness. So he creates darkness and light by he wanting to bring light into the darkness. So all the gurus are what? Devils. Another word for guru, devil. One who wants to enlighten someone. That's called Lucifer. The one who brings some light into darkness and creates separation from it.
So really the myth of Lucifer is quite correct.
Yeah, it is. God, knowing himself, he becomes his own devil, his own teacher. And then he thinks he has to learn something. So he cannot even blame anyone else. He is the devil for himself. Have a preference. And out of the preference of being happy, he becomes an unhappy, angry God. And look what this unhappy, angry God is doing to this world. All the consequence of trying to be happy, trying to be in peace, trying to know oneself. This is a result. What you see is this world as it runs now, by this unhappy God. Because he wants to be happy, and only happy.
Does that not?
What to do? But he cannot help it. How can you? It's an accident. How can he not have a preference of peace? How can there not be a preference of love against hate? But that he wants to love himself, he creates an hate. By loving, he is hating. Both comes instantly. So what can you do? This almighty, this absolute God, how can he stop it? By trying to stop it, it even goes further. It's too late now. Now it happened. The divine accident happened, that the divine woke up and started to, what? The love affair with itself. And by that loving caring, it creates all that differences and all that left and right and dark and blah, 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 blah. So you better see the light of Shiva is not Shiva. It's the light of Shiva. Maybe even the light of Shiva is a lie. It's a light. He lied to himself as light. But Shiva lying to himself, who cares? So the light of Shiva is the light of Shiva, but not Shiva. So be that what is Shiva, not knowing Shiva, not even as light or darkness. Because when there is light, there's the opposite of darkness again. When there is knowing, there's not knowing. When there's knowledge, there's not. Fuck it all.
So really there's no way to get out of this duality of existence.
The problem is you were never in duality, so how can you get out where you're not in? If you would be in, there would be maybe a way out. But try to... You are not even in something. What you are has no inside or outside. How can you get out of something when there is neither in or outside? But you imagine some. Yeah, but then it's imaginary inside and imaginary outside. Imaginary way in and imaginary way out. So you imagine to forget yourself. You imagine that you run away. And now you imagine you have to religion. Evolution, revolution. Evolution, revolution. Blah, blah, blah. All imaginary what? And I sit here, by forgetting yourself you haven't forgotten. By remembering you will not remember. There will be forgetting and remembering, but you are what you are, in forgetting and in remembering. All is there, but does something happen? No. Or did it? Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about the existence of free will?
Yeah, there is free will, but no one has it.
So how can it exist if nobody has it?
Yeah, but there is no ownership. If there would be one who has free will, then the free will would not be free anymore.
So you're saying there is only one will?
There is free will.
Only one will?
There is the will of God, you can call it, or whatever. But there is no one who has free will. Because there's a contradiction. If there is one who has free will, it would be not free anymore. So there is free will, but there is free will, but no one can have free will. Who can have freedom? What kind of freedom can be owned? The freedom that can be owned cannot be freedom. Can it? You see, there is no ownership in it. So there is freedom. There is whatever, there is free will. But there is no ownership in anything.
But even for trying, for doing, for getting away, all these things, don't they need a will?
No. Try to want what you want before you want what you want. Try it. Or does it come just by itself, what you want, the tendencies? Can you claim it? It's always a bit later you claim it's yours. Always a little later, but you cannot, if you really could want what you want, you could really want what you want, you would not sit here. You would stay in bed forever. You would be asleep forever. You would never wake up again if you really could want what you want. So it's all hopelessness and helplessness of what? Of what you are. Yes, there is a free will, but there's no one who can control anything. So there is a free will. Look at it. But to claim it's my free will, then it's not free anymore. Then you want to control what is uncontrollable. So because what you try to control controls you. That is like a prison of control. Instantly. So if you want to control your body you're imprisoned by that control. If you want to control your breathing, you're imprisoned by even your breathing. Sure, but try, you will fail, you know it, and that's actually the way. You fail and fail and fail. And then you become the Buddha by failing to know yourself in anything. So you're not succeeding to know yourself, you fail in knowing yourself. And by failing you are that, but not by succeeding. That's the way it is. The ultimate medicine, they call it. Yeah?
Where does individual creativity come in?
Creativity? There is no creativity. The dream of creativity. That's a dream, that something is created and there's a creator. For me, there's a solid block of existence. Nothing is ever created and nothing will ever be destroyed. Life and nothing but life. And life is never created and can never be destroyed. So the dream is that something is created and something gets destroyed. The dream of coming and going. A dream of birth and death, that's all. So be happy, enjoying that you don't have to create anything because everything is already there. And this moment has to be as it is. That's a future moment, can be as a future moment already is. So what to do? Relax. You don't have to relax. Be creative. All these concepts which are implanted by society, by parents, by teachers, all that business things, implanting something that you are a good member of society. Civilized. You're living license, you're civilized. And you are tamed by concepts. The inner beast. The lion becomes a sheep.
So you think that creativity is something that, like my creativity is...
There is no such thing as your creativity.
When I draw a picture...
That is not your creativity. Who gave you the talent to paint? Who gave you the fingers? Who gave you even the instrument? Who whatever? You think it's yours? No? Or the absolute artist is life itself and paints everything? And there is no me in it?
I never saw it anywhere else.
Do what?
I never saw it anywhere else.
Again?
I never saw my drawing anywhere else.
There are no my drawings. Everything is unique, but not your unicity. There's all unique and whatever. Life is living itself always unique, but it's not yours. Your body is a unique expression of that what is life, but is not your body. It already belongs to life. There's no one who owns his body, his life. What do you think about your life? What do you think you are? An owner of a separate life? 2 lives? The second edition of life? A separate edition of life or something? What do you think you are? A little devil who owns some little kingdom himself? A king, my little kingdom of my body, my little artistic ability and creativity, my blah blah blah. I tell you, that's the biggest suffering you can enter, being a painter and an artist. But if you want that, you're welcome.
And he talks from experience.
And I talk out of experience, I tell you.
Nothing worse than trying to fucking paint.
But that's the root of all suffering, is doership and this ownership. So if you want to suffer very severe, you continue like that. My little drawings, my art. Because I can just tell you, I went through all that bullshit. And enjoy yourself, because maybe you cannot change it.
Yourself right up the arse, you silly little cow.
Really?
Oh.
What can a dustbin? What can a dustbin do?
Oh, I love the smell of bullshit. Oh, lovely.
I'm happy to destroy the ideas that someone, because that's when I talk to myself and seeing myself just by being blinded by this little idea of ownership. This little whatever suffering point, which is always like a belt around your center, around your heart. This little doership, what have I done right or wrong, and all this justification you need for that. I mean, being in a permanent court case, being a judge and the victim and the doer and whatever has been done, and always judging what your little painting is good enough and it's really art or not, can I really present it to myself or whatever. All that mindfuck, welcome. If you like that. Or you want to have a peace of mind. What's your preference? What you're longing for? For the peace of mind? Or the peace with mind? I think everyone longs for the peace of mind. The mind has to be off. The mind means separation, two, ownership. When there is me and you and all my life and thing, that's called mind. So if that is off, you are that. If that is on, you are that little bastard who thinks I did something. It's amazing, huh? There is no bridge between it. You are relative or you're not. You are what you are or you're not. There is no between. There is no close to what you are. You cannot go closer to it by being specially you, whatever, an example of something or anything. There is no closeness in what you are. There are no two. You cannot get closer. You are what you are and that is what you are. This is peace of mind because there is no second. Or you are not that and then there are many seconds. There's time and there's mind and there's my creativity and me Brahma, the whatever, creating the universe, and I am the center of the bloody bubble. So yes, you can maybe see what is what you're longing for. What would you say? What is your heart longing for?
Truth?
What?
Is it truth?
Yeah, but truth kills you. Truth kills you. So what? That's why you lie to yourself permanently, because you know by heart truth kills you. You know when there's truth, you will not be there. The phantom, the imaginary idea of me can only survive in lies. So even you looking for truth is very safe, because as long as you look for truth, you can live your lie. Fantastic. You are, again, the most tricky bastard I know, as consciousness. Fantastic. It's such an intelligence. Just a survival, perfect survival system. Fantastic. So even by you looking for truth and for whatever reality, you're very safe, because then you're safe in your little lie. Being someone who needs reality, who needs truth. Confirming this needy me who needs something. Fantastic. Bravo, you made it again. You are the master. The master of all lies. And then you can rely on that. But because on truth you cannot rely. Because truth is always changing its face. There's no such thing as a stable truth. But lies can be stable. And bomb. You can hold like an anchor. I can have whatever, the stones is where my house is built on. What's called the stepping stone? No. Foundation stone. So your foundation is a lie. Falsity. And from that falsity, you need falsity to survive. In truth, no one will be here. And in truth, no one ever existed. Only self is. So only in lies you exist.
Okay, so all these notions, any notion at all about truth or anything, it seems to depend.
Awareness notion
seems to depend upon the arising of an
The
I
notion
thought.
of awareness already is false.
But it seems to depend upon the I thought.
No, it doesn't depend.
Doesn't
Awareness doesn't depend on the I thought. Already it's the root of I thought.
Okay, awareness, yes.
Yeah.
But any idea.
Yeah, but awareness already is an experience. So it starts very early. Before even you can experience the I, there is that awareness.
There's experience without the I?
Of course. Try to find an I in awareness.
I don't know what is awareness. I really don't.
After so many years.
It's still just a word. It's just a word. Before
awakeness. You know what is being awake. Awakeness.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same. Awakeness or awareness is not different.
So it's just the sense of being.
No, it's a notion of the purest notion that you are. Yeah, that's awareness.
So it's just the I am sense.
It's not. I am is being the space already. I am is already big, very big. Awareness has no size. I amness is already very big. Oneness here. The I amness. The awareness, there has no quantity of more or less. There's just awareness. You don't know where awareness starts, where it ends. I amness is like a.
Right. Is it the same as you call
breathing.
Consciousness? Is that the same?
No, it's part of consciousness. All there is consciousness. And the consciousness has 3 levels, you can say, like Aurobindo. Awareness, the super consciousness, then the I amness, the formless consciousness as spirit, and then this material one as consciousness. All that lingam, the yoni, and then the information. Lingam, this light of Shiva, that's awareness. The lingam, the vibrator. The light, and then the space, where the light vibrates in, and then the information which are in that space. That is called the Trinity. How you realize yourself. So you know the light in you. Oh no. Come on, you. Without that awareness, you could not sit here. You have to be aware or awake.
Yes.
And then there has to be space, like an I amness.
That's still a definition.
It's not a definition. You feel it, you experience it. You want to make it an experience by putting a label on it.
No.
I just point to it. And you want to make the point as a reality.
Right.
I point to that. Why? What are you doing here on the mountain? Meditating, singing?
No idea, really.
You see, no idea. That's awareness.
Sitting here talking.
No idea. That's awareness. So what you're talking about? Without awareness, you could not even breathe.
So tell me about the I thought, how it arises.
The I thought is in the body. It comes with the body. That when you're 3 years old.
Ah, just that.
What else? The I thought is just the mind. An ownership comes.
Because something in one, seeing that any ideas is of attainment, non-attainment, truth, freedom.
Yeah, but ideas ideas come only when you're 3 years old, not before.
Yeah, sure.
So what? So it came, it will be gone.
Ah, that's sure, yes.
So what? What's the problem with it?
Not a problem.
You wanted to say where it comes from.
Not a problem. But something in one wants to contemplate the nature of this idea.
Yeah, but only when there is one. And that comes with 3 years old.
Yes.
Before there is no one.
Absolutely.
So what is the problem? That phantom is like a guest who came and will be gone one day.
Yes.
And the guest wants to have the best guest room. And he doesn't want to pay, that's all. He's a stingy bastard. Yeah, I tell you, this guest is the most stingy, micey bastard you can ever have. And that's called me. And he feels himself so fucking important and self-trained that he thinks everything has to be for free. Because I'm this little king in my kingdom of my life, my body, my life, my soul, my universe. This arrogance, for that it gets punished. For that is all Upanishads are made for that. Punished forever. Trying to be a king of the kingdom of life. And I tell you, what about playing with peanuts? Being the kingdom. But being the kingdom, there is no king. But you try, as this little peanut wants to be the king of a kingdom of life. Being creative. Me, a little artist. Me, my little creativity. Me, my little life, my little whatever I have done or not done. My precious doings.
That's all the I, right?
It all comes with 3 years old. It's like a soul appearing where all the events are hanging on it, like the pearls of bullshit collected by a collector.
Yes.
So the collector is collecting all the bullshit he has done in his so-called life. And the bad things he wants to forget, and the good things he wants to present. So he's a businessman who wants to sell his little pearls of his doing. Pearls for the swines, that's all. My precious doings, my precious life, my. And this guy, you just pointed out, if you could just drop the mind who came to you, you would be fine. There's only this mind which makes you suffering about your bloody
But he always points to that, dropping that mind through inquiry. He always points
No. He says it drops by just you being what you are. And not by any inquiry, because only the mind needs to inquire.
Yes.
And how to get rid of that successor, that sucker, that let him fail. Give him some koans. Give him something to do he can never succeed in. And that question, who am I, it becomes a failure.
He says it's the thorn to take out another
thorn.
You are my words. I'm just quoting.
But they're always quoting and because they have nothing else to say.
It's better when you quote it in Chinese, though. Then nobody can argue with you, can they?
It doesn't make it better if some name is in front of it, like Ramana. So if I say whatever Ramananda said and have not said, it's all bullshit, as he said it himself.
When did he say that?
Always. Because every word is empty. Nothing can ever, by non-whatever, verbal or unverbal, whatever experience, you become what you are. You can never attain that what you are by not any empty words. And this empty words is meditation of consciousness, and the meditation is without harvesting yourself. So by no self-inquiry you will become what you are.
Of course not.
So what? Of course not. If it would be really clear for you, you would not sit here. Of course not.
How shouldn't I sit?
Of course not. Well, like a kings, of course not. Totally clear, it's totally clear here. Fucking clear. You have to tell me that. Of course not.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
But for who?
Self-inquiry.
So I make you something obviously, and that confirms that there is one who claims, oh, it obviously. My understanding is always a misunderstanding anyway. Thanks God, there's only whatever can be understood is a misunderstanding.
I think you would agree, though, that no...
I never agree with anyone, you know that. How dare you try to make me to agree to the greedy bastard who wants to understand something? It's a greediness of agreement. Because you need to be agreeing with someone in a harmony of agreement. A businessman agrees to one selling, buying act.
But you have said many
Fuck it. I never said anything. Whoa.
I've got it written down. You said 150 times. You said. But you did say the opposite 114
But
times.
I said,
only 114, so you owe us one.
Okay, I said 149 times that and 150 times the other side.
Right, yes.
Okay, I have to balance them.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm keeping count.
You win.
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
Oh, okay. You're accountant.
Something like that. It's in there somewhere.
It's like accountant. What he has said. And then wanting to, like, they think I'm Jesus who nailed... No, he thinks I'm Jesus who needs to be nailed down.
Oh, no, he just wants to be crucified. He's just afraid of the pain.
It's like if people married to nail someone down.
He's a masochist who's afraid of pain. How do you get that? How do you get born like that? That's a joke. And that's a disrespect.
I'm in the bliss of that I don't understand that English.
Yes, you're so lucky. Very lucky. Think of us poor guys who understand him.
You have all my pity. That's called pitiful. No, I like this him because whatever one comes and says, you said, and just says the same words, exactly think, no, I never said it. That will never confirm anyone.
What's the difference between non-duality and oneness?
And what?
Oneness.
Oneness says one to many. Non-duality simply means being that what is neither one or not one. Undecided. But oneness needs one who defines oneness. And when there's oneness, there's two-ness. Both comes together. So if it would be oneness, then it would not be two-ness. But that what you are is the oneness and it is the two-ness. And for what you are, it doesn't make any difference. Fuck off, yeah. You know what I'm pointing? So when you are the heart itself, you are the heart of oneness and you are the heart of separation. Because for you, it makes no difference for you. You are absolutely indifferent for oneness or separation. But if you are one, then there's a difference between oneness and separation. When you call it oneness, then you make it different to separation. And me needs to have a difference. The oneness is better than separation. So it needs an advantage, or like it needs a preference. And oneness is a preference of one. So it's better than separation. But for what is reality, it absolutely makes no difference. So the heart of oneness is the heart of separation. The heart of knowledge is the heart of ignorance. Heart is what is. There's nothing but heart or self. Call it whatever. But that one who talks about oneness needs it. Because he wants to be a master of oneness. He wants to. He went beyond separation. But who went beyond separation? And who is prior? And who is whatever? All that trying to what? To control something. But heart doesn't need to control anything. Because heart is that what is existence. Is that what is self. And there is no second to it. That's all. But it is that what is separation as it is that what is oneness. That's a trinity of Shiva actually. Shiva as the unconditioned, whatever, the self, not knowing Shiva, knows himself in separation and in oneness, in absence and in presence. And there can only be a presence in an experience of separation. And there can only be an absence in oneness or in the absence of separation. So absence and separation, that's are the two faces of Shiva. But Shiva himself has no face. So what to do? So Shiva not knowing what is Shiva and what is not Shiva, that is Shiva Shambhu. When Shiva is Shiva, not knowing Shiva. So then Shiva is realizing himself as presence and as absence. So reality as Shiva is as real in that one or in that one. It doesn't get less or more real in anything. So reality, so it's like if Jesus says, fear not, because that reality you are can never be more or less in anything. So you don't lose yourself in the presence and you don't gain yourself in oneness or absence. No gaining, no losing in anything. Nothing makes you more or less as you are. That is hard. Your very nature. And that's reality who has to realize itself. You cannot stop realizing yourself. And you realize yourself as separation and oneness. And there's no way out. So what to do? But you still try to get out of it. That's part of presence. Because the discomfort of the presence is unbearable.
I'd recommend painting.
Especially when you're an artist.
No, it's better if you're not an artist.
It's not better.
It's much better.
Because then you have to buy the art from somebody.
Let someone else have all the pain.
No, the final thing is like you cannot escape what you are and you are that. Finished. Whatever it is. What to do? You try very hard and you will always fail. As Buddha failed to escape himself. That makes him the Buddha, who cannot not be the Buddha.
But how can you try if you don't have a will?
Yeah, but trying happens by itself, because by the nature of love, your preference is comfort.
So it's not trying?
No, but you always long for comfort. The moment you're in the presence is there, the presence, it's the nature of the presence of a lover and his beloved, and the nature of love is wanting to have the best for the beloved. It's the nature of love and the presence. And the best for the lover is being one with the beloved, oneness. So it's always between them two, they're swinging. Like every orgasm, every sex act, every tantric thing is you want to become one with your beloved. In this orgastic absence. For 1 ever second or 5 seconds there's an orgastic trance of absence. This is like the absence. And then you come back to the presence of separation. And then you fuck again. For the absence. So all the mind tries to, this mind fuck is all for the absence. For a little understanding where then there's an absence. But then the understanding goes and then the presence of separation comes again. And then you try to find again. So it's a permanent between them both. It's like a current.
Is it trying or it's just happening and there's nothing?
No, it's inquiry.
To enjoy?
No, it's inquiry. You cannot enjoy separation.
No, I'm not saying enjoy. I'm saying how can I inquire? How can I try? How
You,
can I do
consciousness, you cannot say you do it, but consciousness is doing permanently. The moment there is consciousness, the presence of consciousness is inquiring into its own nature. That is what happens. It's always trying to know itself. It's always the lover and the beloved who tries to know the beloved himself.
How can it not know itself? And who's trying?
Yeah, but it's trying. Look at it. If it really would not be needed, why should it still happen here?
That's why I'm questioning.
Huh?
That's why I'm questioning it.
No, it's why not? Because it doesn't matter. It's just one way of realizing yourself. You can questioning it. You should questioning it. Because this is like a questionable circumstance, for sure. It's not needed, but that's why it's called a paradox. In spite it's not needed, it happens. Not because of something. So it's all out of joy. Even separation happens out of joy. Out of joy, but you cannot enjoy it. You don't have to enjoy it. That's the best thing of it. You don't have to enjoy anything to be what you are. You even enjoy yourself in not enjoying. You don't have to enjoy yourself to be that what is joy. So you enjoy yourself in enjoying and in not enjoying. You cannot not enjoy yourself. But you cannot only enjoy yourself in enjoying. You have to enjoy yourself in enjoying and in not enjoying. Because both comes together. You have to enjoy yourself in knowing and in not knowing. In whatever, in darkness and in light, in whatever polarity. You cannot have only one side. That's the main thing. When you only want to have one side, you have a preference, then makes me. The one who has a preference. The preference of light who wants to avoid darkness. The preference of oneness who wants to avoid this. That's
concepts.
Yeah, but it's all a concept.
Inside, outside.
Yeah, but what did I say before? It's all a concept. It's all an imagination. But by your almighty nature, whatever you imagine becomes real. Fuck it, huh?
So there's nothing to do?
No, you cannot not imagine.
Just
No, you are the para-Brahman, you cannot not dream. You are the absolute dreamer and you cannot stop dreaming. And you dream yourself with a dreamer and without a dreamer. So dreaming yourself without a dreamer is comfort. Dreaming yourself with a dreamer, like a creative dreamer, discomfort, because you always doubt your creation. So doubting and not doubting, between that you swing. It's like Nisargata, there's love who tells me I'm everything, and wisdom I'm nothing. But my life flows between. That is the middle path of Buddha. Be that which is in spite of love or wisdom. Because both are there, but you are not because of them. They have nothing to offer. They're very promising, but they're all empty, thanks God. So you can enjoy the emptiness of everything, because nothing can make you more or less. So that's the nature of emptiness. It's empty in the sense it cannot give anything, it cannot take anything. So enjoy yourself by being that what doesn't need to enjoy itself. Be the peace who doesn't need peace. Be the knowledge who doesn't need knowledge. All that paradox, I can only point to it. But no one can be it for you. And don't care about anyone who is it or not. Care about that one who, what you are alone. Be that selfish bastard you are anyway. And don't try to sell the fish you may have catched. Then you're really a seller of fish. Then it's really selling fish. But be self. Self is not selfish. Little difference. English is fun, huh?
That's a good one.
Wow. Yeah, but as a me, you are selfish. You're selling fish, and the fish stinks. Permanently stinking fish. And you know that. But when self is, so be self is. There's nothing to sell and nothing to buy. Business ends. That's the only way that business ends, when you are that what you are. But otherwise you always sell fish, and that stinks and stinks.
Papaji always talked about the fish market.
Yeah, how could I know? Never met him. But Jesus was a fisherman. So as Jesus, he was selling fish, love and blah and compassion, blah, blah, blah. And at Christ, he became Shiva. And the Thomas Gospel is totally Shiva, destroying the whole bullshit. All what he has said before, he just said, fuck it all. It was all bullshit. I put fire on the world, and not healing the world. Bloody world. not the new earth, Mr. Tolle. He is Jesus of these days, having many apostles.
Savior.
No, but I don't think there's a record of him fishing any fish.
No, they have a big purse. They have
Fish persons, but not.
They have a purse, a big purse. 6 million copies sold of The Power of Now. It's quite a big purse. You have a big bank account. You can
No,
count.
I'm saying that Jesus never fished any fish. He was a
Yeah, but
fisherman.
that's why they nailed him on the cross. Because there cannot be any son of God. There cannot be any Buddha walking this earth. That's why they nailed him. They killed him because there cannot be anyone who is it. It's impossible. No one ever can be that what is kingdom of heart or anything. You can only point to it, but you cannot be that like a person. So as Jesus, he was an embodiment of truth, but there cannot be any embodiment of truth. Truth can never be shown. It cannot show itself. So Buddha will never walk this earth. So we have to kill him. And then the crown of thorns and piercing the heart, or whatever is false was pierced and taken away. And the symbol is Christ still remained as what he is. With and without the body, with and without any experience of life, you are. That is his initiation of this fourth state. That what is in spite of any whatever.
What do you think when they say in the Gospels, he cries out, "My God, why have you forsaken me?"
Maybe he said, thanks God, you have to, now this bloody God goes away too. That one I never needed anyway. Who was there? Thanks God, now this bloody God leaves me too, because it was an imaginary one anyway. Who needs this bloody God? Who knows what he has said? I was there, I can tell you.
You were putting the spear in, I think.
I was the spear and the spearing and the speared.
Barabbas, the thief on the other cross.
No, but it's always symbolic. Like you're crucified on the horizontal, the vertical, and the center, which is awareness. Where this horizontal and the vertical meet, there's awareness. That's a symbol of the cross, and you're crucified on it. It's a crucifixion. You're crucified on fiction, because all of that is fiction. So that's why it's called crucifixion, and not crucifixion.
Yeah. And resurrection.
That you do every day.
Back to Tantra again.
The Tantra of Upaha. The resurrection every morning comes by too much water in some places.
Piss proud prick.
What is called in English this water thing?
Piss proud prick.
Piss proud prick.
When you wake up with an erection, it's caused by lack of urination. It's called a piss proud prick.
Piss proud prick.
It's no good for fucking.
I think his girlfriend is she be here now?
No, she's here.
We all hoped it would help, but a little bit. It was worse before.
I've got less energy now.
So, okay, last question. Let down.
We spoke out today about you told what personally comes in 3 years old. Yeah, before baby is empty.
No, there is one who doesn't know what he is.
Can we call it?
There is still one, there's already one, but one who doesn't know what he is. A baby doesn't know to be a baby. But when you're 3 years old, your mother succeeded to tell you you are the body. That's your body, that's your whatever responsibility now. You are the owner of that. This is your home, and then you have this ownership. This ownership, that's in me.
It varies. There are many tests from 1.5-year-old babies are already self-aware.
Yeah, but self-aware, but they don't claim that is their body. They always call it the third person.
Ownership? No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ownership is there. Ownership starts, and the mind starts with 3 years. Before there is self-awareness. Awareness is there, that's for sure. But me, the ego, starts with 3 years. Yeah, that's ownership. When you confirm, when you say, okay, it's my body and now I take care. The caretaker starts. Before your mother is taking care.
If you will use these terms, Shiva terms, yeah, can we call it like we are in personalities Shiva present, yeah, and before 3 years old it's Shiva absent?
No, no. There's still Shiva, but Shiva is awareness, not as Shiva is Jiva. Shiva is always there, but the Jiva, the owner, starts with 3 years. Shiva becomes a Jiva when he becomes a puppet himself and has a puppet. In that ownership he becomes a Jiva, an owner of something. He becomes little. Because he claims to have this little, whatever, this little owner. Out of the absolute owner, by being what he is, being that what is Shiva, existence itself, he becomes a Jiva owning a little body, and then taking care about a little whatever. That makes you this small puppet. And this is like what we are doing here, trying to show you that this is not, you're not limited to the body at all. You're just like an imaginary ownership of a little whatever, because in the nature you own everything by being it. You just make yourself like small, but by making yourself small, you don't become small. This doesn't even, this is just one way of realizing yourself, experiencing yourself, but by experiencing yourself as a little owner, you don't become the little owner. You are still that what is the absolute. Owner himself, and not that what you believe to be. So this doesn't have to go for you to be what you are. That's I'm pointing.
I always wondering why I can't remember what was before 3 years old. Yeah, and I asked.
I remember.
You remember?
Yeah. You should go to Osho. They make rebirthing techniques and things, and they go even before you are perceived. I have many from the Osho community. They tell me whatever they had before and how it was when the mother and father. They already saw it when they met in the pub. Before they go behind in the toilet, before they made something.
Oh God, we're romantic.
The most baby are created drunk, I tell you. Believe it or not.
You've got to have an anaesthetic, haven't you, for all that mess.
Women get much more sexual when they have little drinks. It's known. And men too. And then it doesn't matter anyway when you're drunk. And then the doesn't matter comes out.
Doesn't matter, G.
It doesn't matter, G. Has spiritual name now. It doesn't matter, G. Never happened me, G.
It might bring on the desire, but take away the performance. The drinking.
A man full of experiences.
No. I don't drink.
Yeah, but it doesn't need any performance, come on.
Well, the action, the activity.
I always say that in Germany, they found out 5-6 years in America, again, they always find out something in America, that men should not be ashamed to come too early. Because they found out the men who came too late, they never killed kids. Because the men who came too late, the girls are already gone. The only men who came too early created babies. So that's like genetic now proven, that only the men who come too early produce babies, so all the babies coming out of men who came too early. So this is like evolution.
Well, Shiva had some kids, and he was a great tantric.
But he never came.
Perhaps you're
So only Shakti can take Shiva. When Shiva comes, only Shakti can take it. Wow. Shiva Shakti. Okay, that was it for today. That was the end of November. Tomorrow.
No. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Parvati made Ganesh anyway. Shiva was off bloody meditating. So she's, how he claims to be the father, I don't know. Bloody paternity.
All the stories of India.
Yeah.
Parvati. How many wives did Shiva have?
Oh, loads of them.
Several.
Wow. How many consorts had Krishna?
Oh,
60,000.
60,000? Lord. 300,000 or something. Huh? Or not? I always get different numbers. Wherever I go, I got different numbers. In Bombay is 300,000.
Had a lot.
He lost count.
Yeah.
He lost the sight, whatever.
But
Okay.
How can he have so many women if he comes soon?
If you have so many women, it's
If
fine.
he comes soon, how can he?
He never comes. He can only have so many women because he never comes.
Ah, okay.
If he
He's
would
always there.
if he would have come, then it's too late.
We were all hoping that he would come one day.
That's
You think
right.
this is the outcome of Shiva coming?
It's a perfect example of how to deal with women.
Okay, thank you for going. Huh?
Thank you.